You need to file old tax returns, but you're not sure where to start. Maybe you need to get financing or a mortgage and the bank's asking for these missing returns. Maybe you need to get on a payment plan with the IRS and we need to get caught up before they set us up on a payment plan. Or you just want to get caught up, get this big monkey off your back. Good news is I'm here to help. The first step is finding out what years you need to be filing. Now, if you already know, you can obviously skip this step, but if you want to find out which years you have not filed, you will need to create an account with the IRS online, log in, view some transcripts, take a look at these transcripts to see which ones haven't been filed. All right, so to view your transcripts, you're going to, again, have to log into the IRS. Once you're logged in, you can click this View Tax Records right here. Once you're here, you're going to hit View Transcripts. And then you're going to see all the different transcripts. You can kind of click this drop-down menu to get some more. But here is the account transcripts where you'll have to check these out to see essentially which years have or have not been filed. Like here's an example of a tax account transcript, right, that shows, hey, this return has not been filed. And you'll see this is for a 2021 tax return. All right, so now we know which years to file. Now we're going to make sure that we get the documents in order to be able to prepare those returns, right? We need those W-2s, 1099s. Now, if you have the originals, those are always the best. But if you don't, there's a way to get these from the IRS. Essentially, we're going to go back online to your account. In this transcript section, this wage and income transcripts, essentially, wow, it goes pretty far back, right? And you can grab those transcripts. Now, for any year that essentially you have not filed. Now, keep in mind, these are only federal amounts. It doesn't have the state amount. So if you also have to file the state return, generally what we do is we call the state with these account transcripts kind of at hand to verify what W-2s or 1099s that we have and how much has been withheld for these. So when we go to file, we know exactly kind of what we've already previously paid. All right, now step number 3 is to find software and to prepare these missing returns. Now, I guess you don't have to get software. You can just get the paper forms and fill these all out manually, but it's not what I would recommend. You might make mistakes. You might miss things. Software is out there to make life easier for you. I would use it. So I found that H&R Block actually has software that goes back till 2020. So you can file the last 6 years of your returns using H&R Block. And I believe, you'll have to download this onto your desktop or Mac, and you're gonna have to pay here. But bottom line is you could do this all yourself. So you should be able to e-file for the last 3 years. Currently, we are filing 2025 returns, so we would be able to file 25, 24, and 23 tax returns electronically. That's the best way to do it. You don't have to pay extra postage, and they do get processed a whole lot faster than mailing it. But if you are filing older returns, you will need to get these things in the mail. And so the next step is to find out where you're going to mail these returns. Now, the IRS has this nice website here where to mail paper returns with or without a payment. Now, I would always do without a payment. I would not recommend sending a check in the mail. If you're going to make a payment, just make a payment online. I have a video on how to get that done. Check it out. But nonetheless, let's find essentially where to mail it. So it depends what state you're in on where to mail it. Generally, we're filing these 1040s, and that's what we're doing. We're not enclosing a payment here, and that's where you're going to find it. So you would want to make sure you get, again, the correct address on where you currently are living and where you're going to mail this thing to, right? They're different addresses. Not only going to have to mail the IRS, but if you live in a state that has income taxes like California, you'll have to mail to California as well. And again, you will have to find that address here. And all I'm doing simply here is just typing into Google where to file tax returns California, and this pops up. I will include a link to these websites in the description below. So this sounds self-evident, but you will need to sign the tax return. We'll need a wet signature with a pen. You can't essentially e-sign this and print it out. No, it has to be with ink on the paper to sign this if you're going to put it in the mail. So if we're looking at the 25 return, and just generally speaking, it is on the second page where you sign. So you scroll down to the second page, it's going to look like this. It's sign here. You would sign, and you're going to date. Now, extremely important when you mail out tax returns, you will need to get these certified mail with a return receipt through USPS. So I would go down to the local post office and actually bring the tax returns with you and get it certified mail with the return receipt. You're getting something that looks like this put on your envelope when you mail it out. Now, if you're filing multiple years at once, again, extremely important. They can all essentially go in one big envelope if they're all going to the same place at the IRS. That's fine. The important piece here is, and it is weird, and I get it, it doesn't really make sense, but unfortunately, this is how it works. You would have to put each year in a separate envelope. And then let's say you're filing 20, 21, 22, these 3 years, each have to go in a separate envelope. Each of these three then separate envelopes can go in one big envelope that has the postage and that is certified mail with the return receipt. And that then can all go as one package to the IRS. But each tax return needs to be in its own envelope. All right, so the last question is, how long does it take for the IRS to process these back tax returns that we are filing late? Well, it depends. If it's e-filed, they get processed a whole lot faster. I generally say anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks, but it can be as quick as up to 3 weeks. If they are mailed, this takes a minimum of 6 weeks, and it can take up to 6 months for these to process. So again, these mailed returns, let's not expect them to get processed right away, because if you do mail them right out and then next day you want to get on an installment agreement, the IRS is not going to see this on their end. It's going to take at least, I generally expect 4 to 6 months for a mailed-in tax return to show up on an account transcript to essentially then get on a payment plan. Well, I hope the video was helpful. If it was, like, share, subscribe. If you need help with your back tax return, maybe this is just overwhelming, a little too much for you. This is our bread and butter here. Feel free to use the link in the description below to schedule a consultation to see if we can help you out. Thanks so much, guys.